Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons. With me is Gorilla's Random Thoughts. How you doing, Gorilla?
I'm doing all right there. There, though the creek rose about there in the last day and a half, so I won't be fishing it for a while. So that's why I'm here.
Uh,
or,
Hey
I'll,
guys.
or I
how you
should say,
doing,
you should
Tig?
feel special. Or Germ, I should say you should feel special. I don't give up my fishing just for anybody.
How you doing, Tig?
You know what? I'm just getting ready to fly tomorrow, so I'm slathering down my body with cannabis oil. Hopefully, the dog will alert on me and I'll get a cavity check because I haven't gotten any action in a while. So I'm hoping for that. How are you guys?
Not
Yeah.
quite that desperate.
I thought I'd fuck you up with that one. Hi, good morning.
Hey, ready? Hey, yeah, you're in New York City. There's plenty of sites there. You just gotta send out like 50 messages. You'll get one response.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's only 8 million people here. Only half of them are female, and I've been in like I barred from most public bathrooms, so there won't. It's going to be a little harder than that. Ever since that night that I met George Michael, I'm not allowed to use public restrooms. He was nice to
And
me.
let, well, yeah, he's always nice to the guys he meets in public bathrums.
Well,
That's
he
why he's not
was
allowed in them
R.I.P.
anymore.
Something tells me he won't be going into any anytime soon.
I don't even know who this George Michael is.
Did he die?
He was a celebrity. You have to have faith in that.
Yeah, I really wasn't paying attention. So. And hello,
He died
Suzanne.
on 26. He died on Christmas 2018. What can I say? Last Christmas, Christmas 2018, he gave us his soul. R.I.P. George.
Oh, there's another one roaming around. Well, that's why I don't put the link in the chat anymore, Suzanne.
Oh, did she talk about that? Yeah, we know who it is. Everyone
But,
basically knows who it is. It's
oh, I
not going
didn't
to
even
ruin
have
their
it.
reputation. You have to have one to start out with.
And greeting Edge of Time. Welcome.
Hey,
So whose channel got hit then with that last night?
well, I mean, there's gay stuff on my channel, but that's normal, right? I mean, I'm the host. Just kidding. Yeah, no, whose channel got hit, Suzanne? Not that we haven't seen it all. God.
Unfortunately.
I've gotten
Yeah,
hit what
and
twice.
by seen
Yeah.
it all, we mean we've really seen too much.
But you really didn't get the gay stuff, Gorilla. You got the foot fetish guy.
Oh
That's
no,
not
I
quite
had
as
that.
bad.
No, I had that other guy too. That
Oh,
I sat
liquid
there and
gold.
tried. Well, I sat there and I tried very hard to vet the guy, and you know that's why I changed my policy. Someone in the community has to literally vouch for you. I don't care who in the community vouches for you, but like LGB is a good one. Uh, good one there because he's subscribed to like 6,000 channels, so he could probably tell you who it is.
Yeah.
That's
You
probably
know.
true. Yeah, and it is a shame that people lack any creativity and only have talent for being bad at things. If people just looked inside and worked a little harder to try to entertain people and earn those views rather than just driving people away from other channels, then there would be something to it. But this destructive self-serving vandalism is just the act of an empty and depraved mind and an empty and depraved soul, which will probably be destroyed at the end and not be allowed to go on into any afterlife whatsoever because heaven doesn't want him in and hell has a no loitering policy. This person does not work. I do not think they've ever had a job. They will never stop bothering people because they have nothing. They can never hurt enough, lie enough, or vandalize enough channels to fill the big empty hole inside of them that was formed when their parents turned their backs on them at birth. Best I can
Yeah.
tell.
Well, that's why we don't let randos on streams anymore. And can always put names into the banned list on your chat.
There are names you can't even say in my chat.
And good morning, Aravic. Welcome.
Hey,
Wow,
Arabic.
Arabic. Is that the colon R logo on your avatar? Arabic?
I believe that, yeah, that is the Vulcan
Or the
Infinite.
IDIC? It's very close.
Yeah, the IDIC.
Yeah, the IDIC and the colon
It's
R
the
are
IDIC.
slightly different. I love it. Cosby doesn't work so good for me, guys. So I'm out to have a great stream. So I'm out. Have a great stream and a blessed day. PvP knows it was a stream he was watching. Oh, okay. It's PvP. So
Okay.
Pleasant Valley knows who it happened to. He's on a slightly different time schedule, like as far as when the sun comes up in his part of what they say is this round Earth. But I have my doubts. But we'll ask him.
IDIC? Edict,
Yeah, it's the IDIC. Yeah, thank you. And by the way, everybody, if you want Teague Saturday Cinema, the choices are Godzilla or Search for Spock. You could go vote in that poll now.
Which
Search for
Godzilla?
Spock is winning. 57. Godzilla.
Oh, it looks like I gotta go.
1957
Looks like I have to go Chicago. The results there.
So Godzilla.
Uh-oh.
57 is Godzilla Raids Again, or is that the American version of?
This is going to be the American release of the Raymond Burr Godzilla.
Okay,
Best way to
Raymond
put
Burr.
So using the first one, I think they made
is the original one. Yeah, that's the
it's
54.
the first one. Yeah, I think the American release is 57, though, right?
Something like that, yeah. That and Godzilla Raids Again are pretty close to the same release, so I get those confused a bit.
Right, because they're making the sequel while they're working on releasing this movie in America.
Yeah.
Now, I wondered, what did like a Japanese Steven Spielberg say, like, we're going to stand our ground and not translate the English, and people just sat there confused when Raymond Burr spoke, and then the American people were like, we're going to translate these languages. Because remember, Steven Spielberg didn't want to upset Latino people and oppress the Spanish language, which is hilarious to say. As a Latino, I find it hilarious myself. But he didn't translate the Spanish in West Side Story, so I was lost when I watched that piece of shit.
Yeah, 54 was a little early to get a good dub for a movie, so it was easier to throw a known actor to just basically translate everything that was going on.
Is he in the original movie at all, the one that was released in Japan, or is he just cut in from America in America?
He is simply cut in. There's a good difference. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's a fair difference in the length of the movie. That's them just cutting out material and inserting Raymond Burr into it.
Were any F's given about making it look the same as the film stock and stuff?
Well, the clips that are actually Japanese are the same.
Right.
So
yeah, when we cut to Burr, do they match it? Or is it how matching it up? It's black and white, so I imagine it helped.
It's okay for 54.
Right, because everybody's got kind of low, so yeah. I guess it just comes down to if it was the same amount of graininess. We might find out. But Search for Spock for the moment is winning, till someone monkeys around the results, I'm sure. And for whatever strange reason, Biden has a bunch of votes. They're coming in now, late in the poll. We only have a couple hours left, and for whatever reason, it's starting to tilt towards Biden.
Oh, so you got pallet full.
How all that happens.
So you got a pallet full of ballots, huh?
Yeah, just this food. I ordered pizza, and the next thing I knew, when the food truck got here, there was tons and tons of new votes for Biden. And he's not even on the list. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah. But let's get this movie started. The winner of the poll last night was Igor from 2008. Wasn't a big hit, but sort of it took off the trend of like Despicable Me, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean my bribe didn't come in?
Sorry, Gorilla, your bribe didn't arrive on time. Here we go. This movie is starring the voice of John Cusack as Igor. and Steve Buscemi as his little sidekick.
I always had hoped the guy who did Bad Boys from Cops would write another song. Sounds just like that.
Huh. Huh.
The voiceover work is great.
Yeah. Cusack's really suited for this type of work.
How old is this? A couple of years, or is it older?
2008.
He's okay, so it's a while ago now, but he still sounded like he was like 17 to 20.
This way we don't have to see his goony face.
Hey, my mom says he looks like me. He's not that. He's handsome in my family.
The hunch sort of made that impossible.
Yeah, want and are two different things.
Maybe he can transition into like a werewolf or something. He could take Igor blockers.
If that was made now, they would definitely do that.
You would not be allowed to make this movie now.
No, they will make him into transitioning away from being an Igor.
Actually, I think he would be a male human and he would transition into a female Igor, and that would be the only thing he wanted to be.
Probably. No, Igor not doing his job. Oh, that's John Cheese's Liechtenstein.
What the hell?
5 minutes a week. Wow.
There was a smart move casting Mr. Hilter in this role.
What the?
Upbeat stuff.
Is that supposed to be a Back to the Future reference?
Maybe a small one. Yeah, it's always a pain in the ass.
As a Highlander, I understand his pain, but there can be only one. If you just cut, ooh, refugee from the brave little toaster. I have a friend named Brian who's mentioned to me that everyone spells his name Brain when they like on his paychecks and stuff. He has to like go to the bank with a check that says like Brain. I was just like, oh, I'm dyslexic. He's like, the world's fucking dyslexic. No one can even spell Brian. It's the easiest name in the world. People keep adding a T like Bryant Gumbel or spelling it Brain. The eternal frustrations of the Bryans of the world.
He's the only one that's the only time I've ever heard someone mixing up that, like for paychecks.
I never really saw it spelled with a I and A. It's always Y-A. Everyone I knew growing up.
Y is like more of a British. IA is like American or Irish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like usually with the Y, you add the T to the end. You get like Bryant. Not that there's anything wrong with spelling it with a Y. It's just I've personally never encountered that one.
Yeah, it does
I'm
sort
sure
of
it's
look mocap, but it is CGI.
and it's Elton John.
Hey, he's the king, and you're just the loser inventor.
The animation style's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure it's CGI assisted, but it's pretty cool.
No, yeah, it's entirely CGI.
Yeah, Picklemacher here looks like a mashup between Batman Penguin, the animated series, and Batman Joker, the animated series.
What the?
There is no try, only do and do not.
God, she seems like one of those that want to take a toaster bath.
That's okay. She's gonna get what's coming to her.
What, a toaster bath?
Close.
Uh-oh.
Hey, LDG. Good
Hey,
morning.
Pickles. Hey, Pickles, how's it going?
Was that a Highlander joke?
Could have been.
A little bit.
God, that thing is like so.
It looks like a whack pipe or a meth pipe.
Probably is. Someone forgot
Yeah,
to
he's
get it
not
off
really
screen.
working with good. Not really working with good equipment here. Not quite enough juice, I guess.
Arabic, that's a pretty strong B name. I like it.
Byron, yeah, it's an okay name.
I think it's archaic at this point, right? There are very few Byrons,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was it. Does it become a first name after Lord Byron, right? Because Lord Byron is his last name, right?
I assume so.
He was born on January 22nd, 1788, and his name was George Byron. They say he even had the power to create life.
So she's Krogan.
Guess so.
This is such a weird world where the characters are just so weird looking, and this boss level monster is as weird as weird AF.
Nice going. You made a killer monster with a heart of gold. Well, those orphans made out like bandits.
I know this is gonna sound a little crazy, but the way this band sort of came together reminds me a little bit of Rudolph Christmas special. It's like we've got the Bumble, we've got our Yukon Cornelius type.
Huh.
I guess the evil bone was just a little bit defective.
Uh, huh.
A little bit of the old Ultra V.
A little bit.
What the?
These people are very lucky that stuff like The Simpsons and Family Guy destroyed the expectation that it be for children if it's a cartoon, because this is a little bit on the kooky, crazy side. I like it, but it's definitely not quite for children.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not for children.
You want your kid to be in like middle school and you want to watch it with them. It is really good. The soundtrack is good. I've enjoyed the music.
Yeah,
It's the opposite of
definitely a
Civil
good
War that way.
soundtrack. Father's Day is coming up. I think I'll get my dad a gift certificate for a steakhouse. Hey, that's always a good idea.
Can't go wrong.
I think he royally screwed up.
Yep.
He went to make something evil and he made a Mary Poppins.
She, at least
Worse.
before this, she was mostly silent. Hey, look, it's canceled guy, James Lipton.
The brain in the jar changed the channel on him.
Brain in the Jar is one of my favorite Irish folk songs.
Too bad if he had just a little bit more money, they'd let him do it again.
Could do anything you want except blame Boeing.
Rather maneuverable for a carriage.
She used to be quiet and evil.
I
Now
got
she's
police your
evil and
worries.
talkative.
Damn, I was hope they'd fall to their death.
Hope and get what you hope for, what you get are two different things.
It's okay. Actresses are the biggest monsters on the face of the earth.
Thought that was politicians.
He has that whole director thing down very well. Just lie to the actress as much as possible and as often as possible. I guess whatever gets the job done. That's a very good point. Jay Leno does okay at the voice acting.
You could never make this movie today.
No.
We just went reverse body positivity, guys. Is this song written for the movie? Because it's really good.
I don't think so. I've heard this before.
It's funny as hell. Talk about the Crimson Tide. Ooh.
That song is actually from 1958. Louis Prima.
It's not Louis Prima. It's Louis Prima.
Oh, Louis Prima. Okay.
Does that ring a bell now? Right, Louis Prima.
Yeah.
I think he toured up until not too long ago. I know people who saw him live. I think he was still around up until like 2000.
Let's see here.
I was wrong. Prima died in
Louis Prima.
78, but his band stayed together.
Oh,
He has
yeah.
a few
He
other hits.
died quite a long time ago.
But also a long time after his hit, he had 30 years. There's a shot Louis Prima was born 1899. I don't particularly think so, but there's a shot.
Eva the Jealous Monster.
Eva the Diva?
Yep. Oh, yeah. It is based on a opera song, Arabic.
I think he's nailed which song it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's the thing. If I take a song that was written in 1790, I can just cover it. There's no copyright. There was a guitar player. He's kind of famous metal guy. Remember Ying Yang Manschlach or whatever his name, Yingwei Malmsteen?
It doesn't sound familiar.
Yingwei Malmsteen was from like the Netherlands or some shit like that. Metal shredder guitar player, but after like maybe it was 2 or 3 albums, people were like, "It's like Brahms. This is like just a Brahms passage. His solo is just taken like from the violin solos from Brahms." And he's like, "Yeah, of course." Frodrick. Yet another passage that couldn't happen today. And yeah, Arabic. If you're familiar with what was his band called, his band was called Alcatraz. He was a knockoff version of Richie Blackmore of Deep Purple and Rainbow, and he was just like lifting classical music solos, like the soloing parts, and playing it on the guitar. It took a lot of talent. It just wasn't very original. If you just held up like a jar of roofies. So this is the movie that inspired that SNL skit with The Rock, where he invents the evil robot.
Probably.
I don't want to get too into it because it's so improper, but it was hilarious. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
No, I haven't really seen SNL in 30 years.
Yeah, this was like the one time they were funny in the last 10 years. It was pretty funny. It's about 6 or 7 years ago now, so I guess that makes it more believable.
Well, ain't it evil to swim right after you eat?
We'll see
I
that
guess
pool of
so.
liquid evil again in Willow, the series. Oh, wait, you can't see that anymore. This big evil monster is so vain and shallow that it's starting to remind me of the singer from Romeo Void, if anyone remembers that far back.
Not quite that far back.
They had one really good song.
Uh,
He's so hung up on this Eva. It's like Daniel Craig's James Bond being hung up on Eva Green. Like one weekend and 10 years later, he's still bringing flowers to her grave.
Yep. He fell in love with his own creation.
And the line from Hollywood Boulevard, or what was the name of the movie? Sunset Boulevard. She's a changeling. That's right. It's a friend of Odo's. Is Eva maybe Isla Fisher? Because she was pretty big in 2008.
Let's see.
I mean, it could be anybody, honestly. Pretty neutral voice. Just shot in the
Molly
dark there.
Shannon.
Is she from SNL? Isn't she Catherine Christian Kennedy or whatever the hell her name was? The frustrated Catholic schoolgirl.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
she
she
is.
was
She was the uptight
the Superstar movie.
superstar. Yeah, is that the last SNL movie ever, or is it MacGruber? They were shooting blanks for the last like 5 straight movies. After starting with Stewart Saves His Family, no SNL movie is ever good again. This sounds like my lawyer explaining things to my ex-wife.
I don't know. This guy's evil, but I don't think he's lawyer evil.
No, but the part where he's like, when he looks at you, all he sees is a monster. That was like almost a direct quote. I paid good money to have it delivered that way.
I think Heidi's is supposed to be like German or Austrian, something like that.
That name could be from any country in that like Teutonic region, like anywhere from the Netherlands down to Austria.
That Jacqueline character is Jennifer Coolidge. Most people know her from Two Broke Girls.
She's the one that doesn't have enormous cans. The blonde one.
She's the older one, that the over sexualized Eastern European woman who hooks up with
Oh,
the cook.
I watched Two Broke Girls, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I was just looking at Kate Denning's cans. It wasn't a very good show, but it lasted a long time for 2 very good, very perky reasons.
Yeah, that was definitely the main draw of that show.
And it destroys the plot of all the Thor movies because it's like, there's Jane Foster. She's definitely a hard 9, but then you've got like cans of fucking glory right there with Kate Denning, and I would have been like, yo, all right, Jane, but I'm not into very smart women. I prefer your assistant.
Oh yeah, Stifler's mom. I do believe that's her as well.
Stifler's mom's got it going.
Going on. That went through my head too. I'm in love with Stifler's mom.
Hey, you know that song there? Just think of the uproar it would have had if it was called Stacy's Dad.
That song is so old that grandmother, old lady Rebecca Romaine, was still a MILF and a cougar.
No, but just think how upset do you think people would be if it was called Stacy's Dad? And it was about Stacy's
Stacy's
dad going
dad was
on.
pretty damn rad.
Oh, so it's Stacy's dad going after a fucking high schooler.
Yeah, it was a good thing it was going from the younger person towards the older person and not the other way around, or it would be called, like,
Yeah, but she came out with just a towel on.
Stacy's mom likes being looked at. Stacy's mom liked to be looked at. Before that romaine lettuce went bad. She still looks great for her age, and she still looks great in general, but the amount of, like, objectifying they do with her on New Trek while she's being this strong whammon, one-punching men out, it's just preposterous. In New Trek, you have to clear 50 to be allowed to be pretty. Look at their other two ingenues, 62-year-old Michelle Yeoh, yum yum, and now they've hired 66-year-old Holly Hunter, who will be 71 by the time they finish whatever the hell they're doing, based on what we've seen before. They tried for 58-year-old Nicole Kidman, but Nicole Kidman, whose name is increasingly inappropriate considering her age, turned them down. If Nicole Kidman got together with Gary Oldman, would their kids be called middle-aged men or something like that? And what would that hyphenation sound like? I'm James Oldman Kidman.
Yeah, that sounds sort of disturbing.
When you see, like, an older movie, and here comes that name again, like Leon the Professional with Gary Oldman and Natalie Portman, or Port Person, do you ever refer to him as Gary Youngman because he's not old yet?
Never occurred to me, no.
They're like, yeah, who's in Air Force One? I'm like, oh, Harrison Ford and Gary Youngman. And like, who's that? I'm like, oh, you'll love him. You'll love him. He's really grown into his name. He's Gary Oldman now. And it's a shame that it took a long time until he hit about 50, but now he's typecast in playing old characters, I think because of his name.
It just took him a few decades to get to the roles he shines at.
He was really good at being other people, but it took him until he hit 50 to be himself and be fitting of his name. His children are still struggling with the name. As are Nicole Kidman's children, but they don't really care about anything because they're in Sea Org. So Aravik has voted for Starship Troopers, but I'm looking at the poll and it seems like that vote came back Biden.
I just tagged a bunch of people in there because we only have 50 votes, so we got to tie up my cousin Vinny and pick 3.
My Cousin Vinny is a pretty damn good movie.
Yeah, there's apparently a sequel. No, we got a
is, yeah.
three-way tie. No, we got a three-way tie.
That could be a lot of fun when you go live. You just put the link in the chat and like put your poll, the channel poll in like the media in the media sharer, the media viewer, and just like give it like 10 minutes. And if it doesn't work, you break the tie yourself. But I've had some fun moments there where just the voting was going so fast that I had to hold off, and like it went 20 minutes because it was getting a vote like every 120 seconds. Yeah, Arabic is correct. Cousin Vinny is now 30 years old, and it's a good movie, but it's 30 years old. For instance, the two Utes are now old men. And I would just like to point out to everybody, that's not a New York accent. Joe Pesci has a New Jersey accent.
Hey, you pronounced it wrong. It's New
Jersey?
Jersey. New Jersey.
It's New Jersey. I'm a DEI hire on this channel and yours, remember?
Yeah.
Now, does having average intelligence also count as a handicap? Because it's made going through life a lot more horrible.
Yeah, any shred of intelligence makes life way too difficult. But we all can't be the president, and someone has to have an IQ point.
Maybe we should just try no president for a while, see how that works out.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Eric, for voting. But the tiebreaker will be for next Sunday. So we still got a week. If 12 fails, I'll go. I'll just tell. I'll go put it in the Discord group for Minecraft.
Starship Troopers is really starting to pull away there. And over on my channel, search for Spock, still riding high. Kind of reminds me of Attack of the Clones.
I'm not sure about that, Eric.
The original Addams Family was based closely on the original cartoon from like the 30s or 50s, whatever it might be. That was in the New Yorker. Oh, Arabic, don't wish that on her. She has a mechanical arm. This is the second time we've referenced Annie, isn't it?
Yeah.
As an immortal Highlander, I've had a lot of experiences. I saw Annie on Broadway. Did I ever tell you guys about that? You may have heard of
No.
the actress who played Annie. She was unknown and just starting out. Her name, Sarah Jessica Parker. To be fair, I was barely old enough to remember it, but I did see that.
And Ervik, yeah, in part is the same. MGM produced both of them.
That's why they're taking liberties and going close, because both the company co-owns both sets of rights, so they're not going to sue themselves.
How much time is left, Germ?
Not too much. About
About
14
12
minutes,
minutes.
including the credits.
Okay. I should have just enough time to rewatch the Waltons episode for the review.
What made you go with the Waltons?
What?
What made you decide you wanted to watch the Waltons?
Review it? No one's. I haven't seen too many reviews on the Waltons for one, so it's not an overly saturated market. Second, I really enjoyed watching it with my parents when I was younger, and I've always said that we need more people like the Waltons.
Damn, those are all really good reasons.
Yeah. See, like right now, I could get so many. There's so many reviews out there on Discovery. There's so many reviews out there on anything MCU. There's so many reviews, but it's like some of these older shows like that you don't see reviews on, and probably people never even heard of.
Happy Days is the one show that should be doing a lot better and being shown a lot more, but I think the cast got to the point where they negotiated very favorable terms on the reruns. It took them
No,
decades.
the problem with like reviewing comedies is when you're reviewing them, you try to discuss them, that you ruin the joke.
Yeah, I don't do comedies. I don't know if anyone should review them. As far as
Like,
watch parties, difficult reviews, maybe less so.
no, well, watch parties they'd work good, but the review
Yeah.
part, me me and Pop found that out with Gilligan's Island because I get yelled at because I'm ruining the damn joke.
Yeah, all I can do is sit there, wait for it, and laugh at the comedy watch party. If it's something like failed drama like New Trek, it's a lot easier.
Well, save them the time of the luncheon. A win for Igor. His boss is now selling pickles, and he got his girl.
And his friend doesn't want to delete himself anymore. He's cool with it. And Brain got his name spelled right.
They did a very, very good job with this soundtrack.
This is a great song. Bright, sunshiny day.
Oh fuck, not the song.
And they have to flush it at the end.
Ugh.
I guess the song does fit in, but I really hate that song.
Oh yeah, it's
What,
been way
Fantasy
overplayed
Hero
on
now?
that. Well, that song's been played overplayed on the radios and that over the years.
Yeah,
I
it still
agree.
gets a lot of airplay.
You know what? It's a good song. I prefer to hear that one than Those Were the Days. That is the most depressing old song.
Glad you liked the movie, Aravic.
That's all right.
That was fun. I owe you one. That was fun.
Yeah. I think I'll do movies for the entire month.
It's not a bad idea. Would you do Rock and Rule?
Uh, yeah, I can add it to the for next week's poll.
Post the trailer because people might not have context. Have you seen it?
The name sounds familiar.
It's Ralph
I don't
Bakshi.
think
The
I've seen it.
voices are it's Ralph Bakshi. The voices are Deborah Harry. I forget the name of the singer from Cheap Trick, and Lou Reed. It's like post-apocalyptic.
Oh, it's
Dogs
sort
and
of
cats literally living together. Literally,
sort
dogs
of
and cats living together.
similar to heavy metal type thing. Like
It's much lighter in tone. It's much more fun. And it's not as we don't change the act every 20 minutes like in heavy metal, which is slightly confusing to some people. Heavy metal is just like 4 different short stories that are about a half hour long and have different directors and animators. This one's it's consistent all the way through, as far as he didn't the heavy metal stories. I think other people had written them and they were curated from the magazine. I don't know how many of them were original, but I don't think that Ralph Bakshi conceived every single piece of art in it. It's possible I'm wrong, but I don't know if he conceived it. It looks a little different from segment to segment. Rock and Rule, it's about 90 minutes, 2 hours, but it's really good. It's got a bunch of music in it, and like I said, dogs and cats living together. It's anarchy. And they go to New York.
sounds like a good one.
That's where they're a band. They're on tour. They're sort of like the Scooby Gang. They drive around in a van, and they go from town to town, and like they play shows, and like the big show is in New York. There's like 3 Star Blazers movies.
Yeah, the original is what we showed a couple weeks back for the Battleship Yamato. That's actually that's the 21.99.
We got 3 incarnations, right? The first one is Star Blazers, right? Then there's like Space Battleship Yamato and like Battleship Yamato are slightly different. One is an update on Star Blazers that's just the same.
They're all the same thing. I believe because
it's the same story every
Space
time.
Battleship Yamato 21.99 is the original Japanese release. Then it morphs into 2205, and they released both of those. They released both of those in America under different titles, but both takes on Star Blazer.
The Star Blazers I saw was in like the 80s, the early 80s, and it was not as good as the cartoon you showed me. Not as well animated, not as well drawn. It was about the same as Battle of the Planets.
Yeah, the one I showed was a Blu-ray release remaster. I believe that came out in like 2010. Give or take a couple years.
New art done. Yeah. I think new art and new voices were done for it. It looks significantly better. Like, and I don't mean picture quality. I mean it's drawn better.
All right, Jeremy, I gotta go get this rewatched before the stream starts in an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
So
we're gonna be shutting down here anyway.
Yeah, we'll see you, Jerm. See you, Teague.
See you, Gorilla.
Take it easy, buddy.
Teague, do you have anything you want to shout out before we go?